Nyata. Ruben Berg here, member of the First People's Assembly of Victoria from the Metro region, and I'm here today on Millau on the lands of the Bunurong peoples. And I just wanted to talk today a little bit about some of the details around the treaty negotiation framework that just came out and was approved the other day by the Assembly and by the state. And one really important aspect of that framework is the idea that there will be statewide treaty. There will be statewide treaty and there will be local traditional owner-based treaties, but I just wanted to talk a bit today about the statewide treaties and importantly about who's going to negotiate the statewide treaty. And importantly within that framework, it sets out that the plan is for the First People's Assembly of Victoria to negotiate statewide treaty. So that's a really powerful thing that's going to happen. But before that can happen, there's some really important things that will need to happen first. One of those is that we'll need to have a new election for the First People's Assembly of Victoria. Because the current people who've been elected, they've only been elected to negotiate the process for treaties. We were not elected to negotiate statewide treaty outcomes. And so we will need to have another election sometime next year. And part of that will be saying that come out now and vote, community, we need you to vote. And you're voting now for who you want to be a part of statewide treaty negotiations. So I'm going to put my hand up to run again. I'm hopeful to be re-elected and to be part of that process to help negotiate statewide treaty. The other really important thing that will need to happen is that as part of the framework, it sets out these certain minimum standards. It talks about what it is that's required of the Assembly so that it can negotiate statewide treaty. And just some of those aspects are around community, around how is it going to be inclusive of all members of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community from Victoria. Because statewide treaty will affect all people, all Aboriginal Victorians, Torres Strait Islander Victorians. The statewide treaty will have an impact on them. So we need to make sure that we have systems in place to consult and engage with all members of our community. And so we need to demonstrate as part of our minimum standards how we're going to do that. And we'll need to communicate that to community before we go to those elections. And so a really important part of this process will be for all community, whether you're a traditional owner from Victoria or whether you're just another type of First Nations person from Victoria, to talk about how you think we can be more inclusive. Are we doing a good job at the moment? Is there things we could be doing better? This will be that opportunity to make those changes so that when we do sit down to negotiate statewide treaty as the Assembly, we'll have all community on board, we'll have a newly elected group who are ready to go there and get the job done. So I hope that gives a bit of clarity around what's going to be happening with statewide treaty. If you've got more information you're after, just take a look at the framework. It's a really powerful document. Take a read through. And if you have any questions, as always, just let me know. Happy to try and help. Thanks, everyone. We'll look.